Hello, Facebook Live world. I hope everybody's doing well. I wanted to share a fun little thing that happened to me this morning. I was at Starbucks and I was wearing one of my fornication under consent of the king shirts, which are always great conversation starters. And there was this man sitting at the table next to me, of course, asked me about the shirt, and we got into a conversation. Now, I'm one of these people who never really learned how to make small talk. I don't know if that's a social ineptitude or something. But whether you've known me 10 minutes or 10 years, during our first conversation, somewhere along the line, one of three questions is going to come up. Either what's your dream? What would you do if money and time were not an issue? Or what are you so passionate about that it sets your soul on fire? So I played. People will either play along or they'll wish me a nice day and I can get back to my latte. So either way, it's a win for me. Now today, this gentleman, went on and we got into a conversation. And as we were talking, he was telling me about this great idea that he has for things that he's always wanted to do. And he says, but I sent out a video and I was bombarded. So I'm just afraid that if I really go out there, it's going to be so big that I'm not going to be able to handle it. So I said, oh, so you have a fear of success. And he said, I don't have a fear of success. And I said, okay. So we kept talking a little bit more, and he turns out he has a lot of fears. So I wanted to talk a little bit about fear today. By the end of our conversation, he said, you know what? I think I do have a fear of success, a little bit. He said, how can I work with you? Can I have your business card? And I ran out to my car, and I told him, before you call me to work with me, I want you to read this book. I always keep extra copies of The Big Leap in my car, because it's great for people who have that upper limit issue, people who have a fear of success, people who have suffered from self-sabotage, which I think all of us have at one point or another. So I said, read it twice. And if you still want to work with me, here's my card. You can call me anytime. And I did that because a lot of people that are in that situation really do have a fear of moving ahead. And usually that fear comes from a lack of deservedness that they may feel. It's not real, it's just that they may feel it. So usually the big leap will be a good eye opener for them. But as I said, I wanted to talk a little bit about this concept of fear, because fear is the opposite of faith. And I don't know if many of you out there know this, but we're only born with two fears. We are born with the fear of loud noises and the fear of falling. That's it. All the other fears we inherit from our parents, from society, from our teachers, from experiences that we've had, but none of these are born into us. These are just things that we pick up along the way. And fear, as you know, only exists in your mind. It doesn't exist anywhere else. Fear is not real. Fear is as real as you make it. Fear has as much power as you give it. And I'm not talking about danger. I'm talking about fear. Certain people have fears. Danger is a whole other thing, and we all know what that is. But this concept of fear really is something that can be debilitating for a lot of people. And I think that one of the greatest examples that I can give is my mom. Okay, my mom is 82 years old. Do not tell her I said that. Mami, tú me oyes? Sometimes she has bionic ears. Sometimes she doesn't, so she can't hear me. Don't tell her I said that. But I mentioned that because at 82 years old, my mom is still afraid of the dark, which is fine. I mean, that's her thing. Now, the blessing for me in her fear was that when I was about a year and a half old, and mind you, my mom is one of the most selfless people that you can ever know. She is all about giving. She's like Conchi Rodriguez type of selfless. You know what I mean? On steroids. So I know she didn't do this from a place of anything malicious. It was just she was dealing with her fear. So the story goes that when I was about a year and a half old and I was potty trained, I would have to get up in the middle of the night. Hi, Cindy. I love you, my friend. I miss you. So I would have to get up go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. But the bathroom was in the hall where if you turned on the light, everyone in the house would wake up. My grandfather woke up very early. There were 8 of us living in a 2-bedroom apartment and everything was great. So she would say, go ahead and go to the bathroom by yourself, because she was afraid of the dark. And naturally, at a year and a half old, it's not something you want to do, but she would say, go ahead and go. God is with you. Go ahead and go. You're going to be fine. So every night when I had to go to the bathroom, I would get up, go by myself in the dark, do my business, and come back. So now, as I've heard the stories throughout the years, hi Gabby, hi Dawn, and Fabio and Christy, I'm so happy you're here. She always tells me now, when menopause hit and I started to want to do all these things that I probably should not have been doing. Every time I pack up my pilot bag to go for a solo flight, or I'm packing up to go on a 10-day or a 5-day road trip by myself, or I'm going to climb another mountain, she always says, pero Mañuña, tú no tienes miedo y sola. Roughly translated, that means, hey, Mañuña, which is what they call me, aren't you afraid of doing that? And I say, nope, thank you. She doesn't understand the thank you. But I think what happened is that she instilled this, not a fearlessness, but an it's okay to face your fears because God is with you type of mentality. So people will tell me, you went to Africa by yourself? And I say, no. It was God and me. You're going on a road trip by yourself? No, I'm going with God. And it just became a thing. I didn't know where it came from. It's just something that's innate in me. But as I realized how many times I'd heard this story throughout the years, I realized that was injected in me as a child, as a very young child. And now she worries because she has this fear and I don't, and I'm doing all these things that make her nervous, but I'm doing it because of this blessing that she gave me. Now, mind you, my mother, again, it's not that she didn't do it on purpose or that she did it on purpose, but I've been postmenopausal for 5 years. My mother still owes me the period talk. She's that kind of Cuban, okay? But at the same time, I feel so blessed for this gift. So I guess that my point is, in this conversation that I had with this man today, that fear really, it's not real. It's as real as we make it. And also, I want to share with you the importance of the way that we speak to our children and to our little ones. We should be encouraging them. We should be injecting them with a sense of believing in themselves, with a sense of faith that God is with them and that God is going to take care of them. And that emboldens them. At least it did for me, and I would imagine that it would for others. I'm very careful with the words that I say around my children when they were young. I'm very careful with the words that I say around my granddaughter now, and not careful that I have to walk on eggshells and watch what I say, but the words are empowering. The words are powerful to her. The words, I want them to make her feel like there's nothing that she can't do. I want to make sure that impossibility factor is removed from her vocabulary. And more than anything, I want that if she has a fear, that she knows and understands that she has the ability to face it and overcome it. The only way you're going to overcome it is if you face your fears. So I just wanted to share that with you today. I also want to share, people, if you haven't read The Big Leap, I encourage you to do it. It's a great book. We all have that upper limit ceiling that we set for ourselves. Again, it doesn't come from anywhere good. But I encourage you to read it. I encourage you to mind what you are saying to your little ones. And more than that, I encourage you to mind what you are saying to yourselves. We are the people that we talk to the most. Be careful of your words. Be guarded of how you're speaking to yourself. Make sure that you are encouraging yourself and speaking beautiful words to yourself and being encouraging and believing in yourself. So that's all for today for my message. And I'll leave you with a quote that I love. Hi, Anilu. Hi, Alex. And Efrain and Christina and Alan and Nicolina. Hi, Nicolina. I just want to leave you with these words that I live by every day. Eleanor Roosevelt said, do one thing every day that scares you. I encourage you to take on that motto and do something every day that scares you, and you'll see that fear will no longer control you. That is the message today. Remember, fear is only in your head, and you can do with it what you do with every other thought that you have. So thank you all. Bless you too, Dawn. Hi, Vicky. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Anilu. Anyway, enjoy today, guys. Have a great day and make it a good one.